this. All right. Let me go ahead and get my slides up and ready. Give me 1 second. Oops. There's my share screen. Okay. Can everyone see my slides?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, so welcome to the orientation for our newest cohort of STEMbassadors. We're really excited for everyone to be here today. I'll go ahead and go through the agenda real quick, just let you know kind of what we're going to be packing into this hour full of information. We'll do a quick introduction so everybody can kind of just get a chance to say hi and tell us a little bit about yourself. Then we'll talk about the agreements and expectations for the year. Kelly is with us from the Digital Harbor Foundation. She's going to go over the workshops and things that Digital Harbor is going to be doing during our year together. We'll go over calendar and logistics. We'll talk about collecting data and doing observations. And then we have a list of additional resources and everything. And then we will get you on your way by 4 o'clock this afternoon. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. Just going to introduce MOST to everybody. I'm not sure if everyone knows exactly what MOST, the Maryland Out of School Time Network, is, but we are one of 50 statewide after-school networks funded by the CS Mott Foundation. We are the national after-school affiliate for the state of Maryland. And we have been doing STEM programming since 2010, and we are now part of the Million Girls Moonshot Initiative, and we'll go over that a little bit more, but that's just an initiative to get, obviously, as it sounds, more girls into STEM activities, STEM careers, and things like that. So I will introduce our MOST team. First of all, Ellie Mitchell is our executive director. She could not be here with us today. She is at a conference of state legislators who are working to make sure that OST is getting lots of funding and everything for the next year. Just a little bit about Ellie. She's a Baltimore native. She went to Northwestern High School, and she has been our director since 2009. I'll introduce myself. I am Crystal Snyder. I am the learning coordinator here at MOST. I come brand new to the position, well, almost a year. I'm almost a year into the position. And I come from 18 years of OST experience. I worked in Army programming for the last 18 years, so I am fresh from the field. I, in a former lifetime, it feels like, was a science teacher, and I have experience working in special ed classrooms. And then Amani is with us today, so I'll let Amani jump on and go ahead and introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. I know my camera's really blurry. I'm trying to figure that out right now, but give me a minute and I will definitely have that fixed shortly. My name again is Amani Johnson. I just got a message from Nora, Crystal, but I am a Pennsylvania native. I actually was born in Harrisburg, PA, raised in Pittsburgh, PA. I graduated from their creative and performing arts school called Kappa in 2018, and I have been teaching since 2020. It's wonderful to meet all of you.
Okay, great. Thank you, Amani. And then with us, also partnering with our education, is our Digital Harbor Foundation Center of Excellence team. And I will let Kelly go ahead and introduce herself, and Siobhan, who is her co-conspirator in the COE. Go ahead, Kelly.
Hi, so I'm Kelly Schulteis. I work with Digital Harbor Foundation. You'll hear a little bit more about us later.
Yes, please.
Hi.
I'm on a Zoom call.
Oh. And we are a Baltimore-based nonprofit. And I'm going to be working with you. You'll see my face a lot. I'll be working with you through all 3 of our workshops. And my background was I was a STEM teacher for 12 years. And I also did some out-of-school time in museum spaces. And unfortunately, Siobhan could not be with us today. She is on a well-deserved vacation, but Siobhan Hayes is the director of the Center of Excellence at the Digital Harbor Foundation. And so she really helps us to create our community partnerships and to kind of build our program. And her background is actually in international women's rights. And so she's done a lot of work there and is really great at helping us train the trainers and build that model. And I do want to just briefly, before I pass it over, say we have a guest today. I'm sure when we go around and do all the introductions, he can say something, but we have a special guest from Digital Harbor, who's one of our visiting educators from South Africa. And he's just listening in so that he can find out more about some of the awesome programs that are happening in Maryland. So,
fantastic. Do you want to, is he ready to go ahead and just pop on and introduce himself real quick?
Does that work for you, Sibu?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Thank you so much, guys. My name is Sibulele. From South Africa. I'm an educator, been an educator for almost 10 years now. And since last year, I've been a principal of a girls only school. And we are trying to bring STEM education into our school. And hence, I've been allocated to come at Digital Harbor Foundation. I'm also part of the Mandela Washington Fellows, which is basically 700 African leaders who are taken from different countries in Africa to come get some skills and training in America, placed in different universities and companies for like 10 weeks. And yeah, my 10 weeks in America expires in the next 3 weeks. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here with us today. Okay, so we'll go on and we will start to get to know each other, a little bit about each other. So as we, for the STEMbassadors, as we go through, if you want to just give us your name, your organization, and what is the connection between STEM and equity for you, either personally or in your job. And I've kind of made up some slides that has everybody's bio on them, has like their bio and everything. So as we go through, like when your slide pops up, we'll just go in the order that they pop up on the slides and everything. So our first two STEMbassadors are Heather and Andy, and they could not be with us today. But Heather is from Whiz Kids Academy, and she's got over 20 years of classroom experience. So we're really excited to have her as part of our learning community. And Andy was actually a minor league pitcher with the Orioles. That's pretty cool. And he's born and raised in Bowie, and he is with the Complete Player Charity. So we are excited to get to know them as we have different check-ins and meetings and stuff like that. We'll have a little bit more opportunity for everyone to meet each other. But then we'll go on to the next slide, and you guys can just kind of either come off mute, or if you're brave enough to pop on your camera to say hello to everybody so we can kind of put faces and everything. So Kahea, is that how you pronounce your name? I'm sure I probably mispronounced it, and I apologize if I did.
You're good. It's Kahea. So I am an undergraduate student at Hopkins. I work with the Charm City STEM League, which is a mentoring program that works here in Baltimore under the Center for Educational Outreach at Hopkins. And my personal tie to STEM and equity is I will be teaching math in Oahu next year. I'm Hawaiian, as is evidenced by my name. And so finding these out of school channels to get students excited about STEM, particularly Hawaiian students, is really exciting for me personally.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Anthony, you are up next. Is Anthony on our call today? Okay, looks like maybe Anthony didn't make it on the call today. So Anthony is the founder of We Dream Incorporated, and we are excited to have him with us today. Or well, with us as a STEMbassador. He will be joining us in our other trainings and stuff like that as we go along. Okay, Kristen, do you want to take a minute and introduce yourself? Is Kristen on the call today? Okay, looks like maybe Kristen didn't make it in either. So Kristen is one of our 4-H. We have a couple of 4-H educators with us in this cohort and everything, but Kristen is a 4-H educator from Calvert County. She has a background in animal science and,
Crystal,
yes.
I think I accidentally, when I switched devices, it took you off of presenter. The slides aren't up anymore.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know that.
No problem. And then did you want me to try and call in the other two that didn't get in?
That's fine. You're going to need to allow me to share my screen since you took over as host.
How do I do that? I'm sorry. I'm not used to being on this end of Zoom.
Should be down in the share screen.
It doesn't say where to like let someone else share screen.
You want to click on the participant name and then there are 3 dots and give her hosting.
Thank you, sweetheart. You're amazing.
Thank you, Nora.
All right. Crystal, you should be host.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Are we back up now?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. So yeah, so Kristen is joining us from Calvert County. So we're excited to get to know her in the future, hopefully. Next up is Dante. Dante, are you with us today? Dante,
Yes,
I'm sorry, I
I'm here. Can
misread
you
your
guys hear me
name.
okay? No, it's all right. Can you all hear me okay?
Yes.
Good. So I'm actually I'm taking my niece on a college tour. And so right now we're in Nashville, Tennessee, visiting Fisk University. But Dante Ryan, I'm co-founder of the Ryan Institute. My wife and I, we started an academic support company just to help students and families kind of navigate the educational environment. So my background is actually in engineering. I have a doctorate in engineering from Morgan State University. And I also operate a engineering consulting firm where I do some system engineering and technical assistance for the government. The Ryan Institute, we provide academic support and personal development and enrichment for students of all ages. We serve students from birth to college, including teachers. So teachers that are looking to pass the praxis, or even adults that are looking to take the GRE, we actually provide academic support for them as well. And it's a pleasure to meet everyone. And I apologize for my camera being off, but like I said, I'm walking around the campus. And so I don't want to get anyone dizzy from my walking.
It's great. Well, we're glad to have you here. Thank you so much. Okay, so Kim is next on the list. Kim.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kim Hicks, and I am the founding director of the Boardroom Chess. At the Boardroom Chess, we teach life skills using the disciplines and strategies of the game of chess. We have always been doing summer enrichment programs, and this year we introduced STEM to our summer enrichment program. And one of the items we did, we had our young people build houses powered by solar panels. And we'd like to get into that a little more because we know in Baltimore City, we work with schools in Baltimore cities and the most underserved communities. We're in Park Heights, we're in West Baltimore, we're in different schools within West Baltimore, Northwest Baltimore, where you don't find the activities and the after school programs that introduce young people to STEM and some arts and some music. So that's one reason why I especially wanted to be a part of this program this year.
Fantastic. Well, we're happy to have you here. And then we have Arnell, fresh from the Montgomery County Fair.
Straight from the Montgomery County Fair. I am currently in my RV. I just left the meeting. My name is Arnell Kwashi. I am a Montgomery County 4-H educator. STEM is not my ministry, so I'm doing this to become more comfortable with STEM, so that way I can be an advocate for my youth and a supporter for my youth in this county who are interested in STEM. We have a very good strong 4-H clubs that have a lot of STEM activities, but we're looking to broaden that to other areas of Montgomery County that are underserved in STEM activities.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us. Oops. And last but not least, Nora.
Hi, everyone. Buenas tardes. I'm Nora Morales, and I am a program director with Identity. Amongst the programs that I'm in charge of are elementary and middle school before and after school programs. So we have a partnership with Kid Museum here in Montgomery County for elementary school students. So our model actually just has been funded through a congressional earmark, where we are going to be piloting a model of training after school providers in STEM, and being able to deliver STEM across Montgomery County first, and then hopefully scaling it up. So we're really excited about that. And then in the middle school, we started a pilot last year with Montgomery College, and Montgomery College, for those of you who are familiar, is a 2-year college, and we hosted a 3-day intensive STEM program last spring break with our middle schoolers. And this year we're ramping it up. And so we will be doing STEM again for 3 days intensive during spring break, and then for 4 weeks in the summer. So we're really excited because we'll be serving 100 kids, from 25 to 100 kids. So, so we've tripled our service reach. And I'm here because I want to build a community with other STEM interested people so that we can learn some best practices.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. We are happy to have you here. We are happy to start our 7th cohort of STEMbassadors. Little history that kind of led right into the history of STEMbassadors. We are, like I said, we started in 2013, and this is our 7th group. We took a little pause during COVID, like everybody did. So we're really excited to be back in the swing of things and be able to do some in-person training, some virtual trainings and everything. And I promise this is going to be a great experience for you guys. This year, our brand new focus is math. We have not done a math focus for STEMbassadors yet, so you guys are the first to get a math focus. We are going to try to, make math fun for everyone involved, over the next, 9 months, 9 to 10 months during that school year and everything. So we're really excited. There is a article that just talks about our STEMbassadors program. When we send out the slides, you'll be able to kind of click on that link and read a little bit about the history of our STEMbassadors program and everything. So let's go ahead and jump right in, since, like I said, we've only got about 40 more minutes left, and I don't want to keep you all long today. So we'll talk a little bit about our expectations. Within the next week or so, when Ellie gets back from all of her travels and everything, she'll be emailing out the MOUs, the Memorandums of Understanding, that will just kind of give a little bit more specifics of expectations, the things that we're going to deliver to you, and the things that in return are kind of the things that we're expecting from you as part of the STEMbassadors community. But basically, we will have trainings throughout the year. Kelly mentioned some of those when she was introducing herself and everything. So we will, we expect participation in those, attendance. We give you plenty of notice. We'll send out things. We're actually going to send out a poll a little bit later during the training for you to let us know when some good times are for the second half of the year, because we know that people run into conflicts, and we're going to do our best to make sure. We can't obviously cater to every single person's schedule, but we want to try and make sure that the things that we plan are good for the majority of people. And we do, sort of like we're recording this today, we'll try and do makeup sessions and accommodations as best as we can, but work with us and we'll work with you guys. Data collection is really encouraged, but it's optional. The partners that we work with for the data collection have a lot of really good information that you can get from that data about where children were before they started, where they are after going through this program. It can help give you kind of that, hey, funders, look at what we're doing with this program. You know, when children start, this is where they are. When they finish, this, you know, these are the outcomes that we're seeing, you know, to kind of make that case for additional STEM funding in your programs and things like that. And we just ask that you are fully engaged in your participation. Most of you have probably already received an invitation to Basecamp, which is an app where we do a lot of sharing. It's a place where you guys can share stuff like, hey, I found this great resource, pop it on for everybody else. Or like, hey guys, I'm looking forward. Does anybody have a great resource on, you know, something else? And we can share back and forth. So it's a really good just kind of way to keep that community going and have that continual support, because it's always good to have those extra people at your back when you're doing, you know, any type of programming and stuff like that. What you will receive from us is free training, which is amazing. Who doesn't want free training? And I'll go a little bit more into detail when we get to the program year calendar. We will try and be responsive to your questions. Either myself, Ellie, or Amani, one of us will try and answer your questions within 48 hours. So please, you know, we will reach out to us and we will get back to you as quickly as we possibly can. If you choose to do this data collection, we will support you the whole time during the data collection process. And we are here to facilitate that learning community and help facilitate those connections. Amani, did you have something?
Yeah, I just had two quick questions. One, did you want to send me the link for that Google form so I can share it with them? And then two, as far as, actually, never mind, I can't remember the second question.
Okay, yeah. I'll put it up in a little bit when we get to that part of the presentation.
Okay.
Okay, so Kelly, why don't you go ahead and take over? Let's see.
Yeah, no, can you make me a co-host?
Yep, that's what I'm.
Oh, perfect.
Let's see, where's Kelly? Okay, you should be a co-host now.
All right. All right, so hello, as I said before, I'm Kelly. I am the curriculum specialist at Digital Harbor Foundation, and I'm really excited to work with you all this coming year. So I'm going to give you a little overview of what we'll be doing, and I have sprinkled in some fun pictures from last year's cohort, just so you can, these are legit smiles. We didn't pay them to smile, they just were having so much fun. So let me give you a little overview of what we did and who we are. So Digital Harbor Foundation, if you are local to Baltimore, you may have heard of us, but we are a nonprofit. We were founded about 10 years ago, so in 2013. And we are really committed to both digital equity and helping community members to become leaders in their makerspace, in STEM and beyond. And so we do programs. This is just a quick snapshot of programs that actually happen in our tech center with youth. So we do run an out of school space. And so we have free programs for Baltimore City youth to come and make things. In addition, as a part of the Center of Digital Harbor Foundation, we have the Center of Excellence. And that's where I work. And the Center of Excellence, we're really focused on building the capacity of educators. So we offer a lot of community workshops throughout the year. So if you know other educators, many of our workshops are just open for anyone to show up. So we will share that information with you if you know people who want to sign up. But we really focus on building your skills and your capacity and also learning from you. That's another big part of it. So our who, what, and why. So we really want to create programs for everyone, all the change makers out there. And we offer our STEM programs to hopefully elevate and amplify diversity, equity, and inclusion. And really it's because the world is going to be a better place when you have a more diverse people that are making decisions and are a part of it. And so our big focus, even though this year I know we're focused on math, all of our programs have kind of an equity lens. And so whenever we're designing any program, we're really aware that what it looks like in your space may look very different than what it looks like in our space or in someone else's space. because equity is really about focusing on who you're working with and partnering with those youth. And so that's a theme that we will interweave through all of our workshops, is thinking about how do you put your own spice on it, is how I like to say it. Like, how do you take what we have and then spice it up for yourself? So here's a quick overview of the 3 big workshops, the themes of them. Not all of the dates are set because, as Crystal said, we're going to get input from you all and your schedules. But our first workshop is going to be hosting a family math night. So math is something that can scare many people and turn a lot of people away. And we don't want it to be that. We want to put the M in STEM, and we want to like have people excited about math. And so we'll kind of go through what are ways that you can get people doing math together. So involve your families and host some kind of family math night. So that's going to be the focus of our first workshop. And those dates are November 3rd and 4th. That is at our Baltimore-based tech center. Don't worry, all this information will be sent out to you. So you don't have to write it all down. Then our second workshop, hosting probably sometime January and February. That one will be virtual just because that weather that time of year tends to be a little iffy. But that one is going to be an introduction to computational thinking. So sort of think computer science. And we're going to do math and coding. And then our last one, we had so much fun with our textiles last year, which you saw some pictures of screen printing and light up stuff. It was like, you know what? There's no reason you can't put math into textiles. So we're going to call it Math Tiles this year. And we're going to look for how can you leverage math, because there's math all around us, and how can we do that and make things and do some hands-on things so the kids don't even know you're sneaking the math in. Yeah, so this is just a little bit more. So engaging families with math and STEM. We're going to work on co-designing, experiencing, exploring math, and how can you get your families involved. The second one, I talked too much about them already. I'll go a little quicker. So this is our intro to coding. If you don't have any coding experience, don't worry about it. It's really, we're gonna set you up so that you can get a good solid foundation of like block-based coding, which is where we often start youth. And then we'll tiptoe a little bit into some text coding. Again, don't feel like you need to know anything about it. We'll get you there. And then last one is going to be Math Tiles. So you can see one of our STEMbassadors last year. She was working on doing a screen printing project, but there's a lot of opportunity to talk about measurements. If you do any sewing, calculating your fabric is math, and also scale is a big part of it if you're making prints and scaling them to different sizes. So we'll touch on different math topics. And so then this is shorter than I planned. I hope that's good for you, Crystal. And then our next steps, we'll send out information. So keep an eye out in Basecamp for information about the November one. Those are the only ones whose dates are booked, November 3rd and 4th. That's in Baltimore. We'll get surveys for the others. Feel free at any point to reach out to us. We're really excited to get to know you. We had such a fantastic time with the group last year. I hope maybe we can find a way to connect some of them with you all. But you can always reach out to us, coe@digitalharbor.org. In the meantime, before you're on Basecamp, and we're happy to answer questions. And that's all I have.
All right, fantastic. Thank you. It's such a exciting schedule that we have coming up. These trainings are going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to them. All right, let me go ahead and share my screen back. Okay. Okay, so we talked a little bit about our program year calendar. So this is kind of quick and dirty, the things that we already have ready to go. And then, like I said, if you see at the bottom, there's a Google form. And Amani, if you want to go ahead and share that in the chat, Amani is going to share the Google form link in the chat. Just kind of let us know if there are any conflicts that you have. Like every Wednesday at noon, I have my staff meeting. I'm not going to be able to make like one of the check-ins because we do check-ins every once in a while to see how everybody's doing and everything. And we usually try and schedule them not right in the middle of program time in the afternoon and everything. So we just kind of want to see when's the best time for everybody. But in September, we're going to have some representatives from the Teen Science Cafe come in and talk about that program that you can get your teens involved in science activities and things like that. It is a fantastic program. 2 of our STEMbassadors from the last cohort are actually Teen Science Cafe ambassadors, and they're working on that. So they'll probably be in on the training that we have for that and everything, but they'll talk about how to get involved in the Teen Science Cafe. It's going to be a virtual meeting. And as soon as we lock down which day on the week of September 18th, but sometime in that week will be the week that we'll do that, probably a midday, early afternoon before the kids get out of school kind of training. And then in October, we have, we'll do a check-in just to see how everybody's going, talk a little bit more about data collection, probably during that check-in. We have, I forgot to add in there, but there's an opportunity to do Dimensions of Success training that will be in October, and I'll go over what Dimensions of Success is. That's an observation tool that we use. But that will be in October. I believe it's the 19th. I know I put it on a later slide. I forgot to add it into the calendar. And then on October 26th is the After School Alliance's Lights On for Education, or for After School event. And this year we are hosting a math event in combination with the governor's office. So the Lieutenant Governor is helping us kind of put together a really big scale math event to celebrate Lights On. And we're excited. We will be sending out way more information about that as we get everything checked in. We will definitely share all of the slides and calendar information. You'll get calendar invites for everything that we, once we lock in a date and a time, and whether it's virtual and that kind of stuff, we'll send you calendar invites. In November, Kelly mentioned we're going to be hosting a family math night event on the 3rd and the 4th. That is an in-person training at the Digital Harbor Foundation Tech Center. We will send out information about logistics. If you are coming from Montgomery County, I know we have a couple Montgomery County folks and everything, we can help with accommodations and everything so that you're not driving back and forth, since it's a 2-day Friday, Saturday event and everything. So you get to spend the weekend in Baltimore, which will be awesome. We'll do another check-in in December. January, February timeframe, we'll be doing the virtual math event in the evening, the coding event during the evenings. Normally we kind of do it on Monday through Thursday from 5 to 7 in the evening type time frame. So we'll kind of see if there's a week that works better for some people. And then in March, April timeframe, we'll do another in-person Friday, Saturday for the math tiles down at the Digital Harbor Foundation again. And then in May and June, the May-June timeframe, early June, definitely before school gets out. We don't want things running into summer camp because we know that's a busy time for everybody. We'll do our STEMbassador showcase. This year we did it virtually, and I think it was a pretty good success. So we'll talk a little bit more throughout the year if we want to do an in-person event where everybody kind of gets together and, we have one more chance to kind of do a together in the same room type event, or if we want to do it virtually again, like we did last year. So that's all stuff that we'll talk about during our year, during our check-ins and things like that. So the Google form, if you can take a minute, you don't have to fill it out right now, but by the end of the week, this week, if you can fill that out, that way we can kind of collect all that data and see what works best with everybody. Like I said, we can't accommodate everybody's individual schedules, but we are going to try and make it as convenient for everybody as we possibly can. So I talked a little bit about logistics. Virtual meetings, we will do those on Zoom like we're doing this one. We will send out calendar invites for everything like we did for this. We will send out those calendar invites. That way it just automatically populates into that calendar. You can set up those reminders so that we don't forget. We'll try and send out reminders as well, like, hey, don't forget we've got this coming up. We hope that you're excited about everything. And the more we interact with each other, there's also a calendar on Basecamp that you can go in and check every once in a while also to see if things are up, but we will definitely make sure that things get onto your calendar. Any of the in-person trainings, if you are just coming from Baltimore City or close by, we can definitely reimburse you for any parking fees. We know parking downtown is not free generally and everything, so we can reimburse you for that. If you are coming from more than 30 miles out, you can request mileage reimbursement, and we can, like I said, on a case-by-case basis, we can get you overnight accommodations in one of the downtown hotels near the Digital Harbor Foundation. That way, you're not putting a lot of miles back and forth on your car or having to get up super early and battle in the traffic and those kinds of things to make it down for our trainings and stuff like that. We want this to be a relaxing time when you're coming in and just thinking about just taking in all that information and getting all that good stuff to be able to take back to your programs and not worrying about having to battle traffic and all that kind of stuff. Any questions so far? I know I threw just like a ton of stuff at you. Does anybody need to take a deep breath? Any questions?
Crystal,
Yes, ma'am.
I missed your introduction. Can you just let us know or let me know a little bit about who you are and what your role is?
Absolutely. I am the learning coordinator with MOST. So my job is kind of professional development and trying to get all new professional development. We are working on expanding our library of professional development so that if you are looking for some type of training, you can come to us and we might be able to provide that training. If not, we are surveying training providers throughout the state of Maryland, so we might be able to find someone that can provide you with that training. So if you're looking for a really robust training on engaging students in classrooms, I can do that training, but maybe if it doesn't work, I can find someone like in the Montgomery County area or something like that I'm like, oh, hey, this person does, really good training on that or something like that. Because I know working in the field, I did OST for the military for 18 years. And my last job was the training coordinator there as well. I know sometimes having that fresh face come in and talk to your staff kind of gives that new perspective of things and everything. So sometimes it's nice to have someone new come in.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so Amani, if you want to talk a little bit about Basecamp, so that's kind of your project that you run.
Yeah, so as Crystal said earlier, Basecamp is our hub for information. You will find lots of information about different trainings. I sometimes put out information on grants that could be useful for you all. Also, just like it's a place where you can meet with everyone else in your cohort and just like get to know people as well as network and get more information for your program, as well as like speak on how you are going to utilize the information that we are giving you for future use. Hopefully everyone has gotten an invitation. If you did not receive an invitation, please email me directly and I will make sure to send you another invitation. But yeah, I think that's all that I have for that right now.
Okay, great. Yeah, and I know Kelly usually drops the slides after presentations. She throws a lot of photos into Basecamp and everything, so you can kind of grab pictures and everything. So it's just a really great place to share information and just kind of help build this community so that everybody can work together.
Absolutely. And if there is anything that you missed in training today, we will be posting the recording of the Zoom for not only for those that missed it, but also for if you feel like you missed anything, want to go back and just like re-listen and make sure you got all the information.
Okay, fantastic. So data collection. We partner with Pair Incorporated, which is Partners in Education. I knew what it was, and now I can't think of it. So Pair is, they do data collection. They are our Partners in Education and Resilience. So they have the Common Instrument Survey, which is a survey that you can give to children and the educators in your program to find out where they are before STEM, after STEM. Like I said, it's a really great opportunity to collect data to be able to share with funders or with your board if you've got a board of directors or something like that, just so that you have that information so you can show any of your stakeholders the impact that you are having on children with STEM education. And they also have the Dimensions of Success observation tool, which is a really great way to, you can use it as a self-assessment, how you are doing, in your program, or you can have an outside observer come in and do an observation on your program to find your strengths and your weaknesses, and really be able to give the best program that you can. So the Common Instrument Survey, on the one side is just sort of what it looks like for the children that are taking the survey. So they can just, kind of fill in the bubble, and it's online. So if you have access to computers or tablets or anything like that, they can just go right in and click down the survey. If you don't have access, there is also a paper one that you can do. Then you would just have to input the data and everything. But PAIR's really great about trying to work with everybody kind of where they are in their technological journey, because we know some programs are really able to have a lot of good technology, and some technology is more of a challenge and everything. So we will work with you, help you out. PAIR is definitely, they give all the resources that they can to help out and everything. But it talks about their interest, their attitudes regarding STEM, their interest in STEM careers before and after, going through a targeted STEM program and everything. And you just give it one time at the end. So they say, before I, started this program, this is how I felt about STEM. Afterwards, this is how I felt about STEM. So it doesn't have to be given at the beginning and the end and matching up children's answers or anything like that. Nora, if you already have surveys in place for your program evaluation, that is perfectly fine. If you want to use PAIR as well, that's great. If you like what you have and it's working for you, you don't have to use the PAIR. It's just another resource, another avenue that we give for programs who maybe don't already have something like that established. So that's 100% up to you. Yeah, and so that's the Common Instrument Survey. And then the Dimensions of Success. It is an observation tool that measures the quality of students' learning experiences. They use 12 dimensions across 4 domains. And like I said, it can be used as a self-assessment or by an external evaluator. I just got my Dimensions of Success certification, so I can come and do observations in programs if you would like. Or you can actually go through the training for the Dimensions of Success as well. And then you can become a certified observer. And the data that we collect through the DOS observation tool actually can go into the data with your PAIR surveys, so that it all can kind of be generated as one report at the end of your survey year. Yeah, Amani, did you have a question?
I was just gonna say, if you guys are feeling a little worried or anxious about going through the DOS training, I'm also going through it with you guys. So if you need anything, if you have any questions, you can always come to me. You can go to Crystal. Don't worry about it. We got you.
Yeah. Yep. And it's really good. It's not a lot of extra work or anything like that, but it's definitely, it's a good tool to have, especially if you are a I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Nora, your question, how long is the DOS training? It's usually one day. There's like one full day training that you go through, and then there are some extra activities that you do afterwards. So I'll get in. I've got a slide that kind of shows what it is, and I'll kind of go a little bit more into that. But these are the 12 dimensions of success. So there's the learning features. There's the features of the learning environment. So they talk about how is it organized, what are the materials? Are they, appealing to the youth? Do they get the STEM, are they good for STEM education and stuff like that? Then there's space utilization. And then how are the students participating? Are they actually engaged in the activity, or is it just a demonstration that they're watching or maybe not watching? Are the activities purposeful? How are they engaging with an actual STEM learning concept? Excuse me. And then, what is the inquiry like? Are they asking questions? Are they really making those STEM connections? Are they given time for reflection? Is there that chance to say, oh yeah, we did this activity. Now I see how it relates to, a STEM. We made, these really cool canvas, we screen printed these really cool canvas bags. How does that relate to math? Well, we had to measure, and we did, we talked about scaling your picture either up or down to make the screen print or something like that to make it fit on the bag or the shirt or something like that. So, how is it reflected back in? And then it really talks about like youth development. How are they building relationships? How are your staff or your educators, how are they working and building those relationships with the kids? How are the kids interacting with each other? What is the relevance to the child's life? Are we teaching things that they're actually going to be able to use at some point in their life? And then I think one of the most important things that they focus on is that youth voice. Are we giving them a chance to, really have a say in their program and how they like to do things, or are we just kind of pushing it all out towards them and everything? So those are the 12 dimensions that PEAR, or that the dimensions of success rates your program on. And then there's a chance to like really evaluate the feedback and come up with a plan of how can we make things better, because there's always room for improvement in every program and everything. So it really gives you that chance then to think about it and talk about it and make a plan to make it a little bit better. So the certification steps, the next training is October 19th, and you can think about it. You can go on to PEAR's website, and I will, when we send out all the information, I'll send you a link to PEAR's website so you can read a little bit more about it yourself. But there's an all-day training. It's usually like a 10 to 4 or something like that. Training would be on the 19th. Then you do some observations on your own. They send you videos, and you watch through these video observations on your own. And you do ratings, and then you have a call with one of the educators, and you go through the ratings that you gave based on the ratings that PEAR says that the program should have received for those activities that you watched. Then you do some other field exercises. You can actually go and do an observation in your own program, or you can go do a live observation in another program, which makes the STEMbassadors community great, because if you, Nora, if you're going to go through the training, you might be able to pop over to one of Arnell's activities in Montgomery County and do an observation for them, and be able to give them feedback. And then you've also seen a live activity rather than just doing the videos and stuff like that, which is really great. And then after you do the 2 field exercises, and you meet back with your PEAR educators or your DOS educators, and then they give you feedback. And then if you've done well through all the trainings and everything, then they give you your certification. And then there's tools on their website and everything that continues. There's a whole rubric of how to score each dimension and everything. So they really give you everything you need to be able to really do good observations on programs and everything.
Crystal, what's her name? I think Kelly makes a good point. She said it seems that a benefit of the PEAR evaluation tool is that it may be received as more robust by funders. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely. The information and all the data that is collected through those surveys and everything, you can run reports, and it really gives you a good, robust chance to show the differences and everything. Gives you good data to be able to give to like your funders or anything like that. Yes, definitely. Thank you, Kelly.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Amani, did you want
This
to go
is-
ahead and talk to them about some of the additional resources that we have?
Yeah, so we have a few different resources for you all. This Click to Science is a really good professional development resource where you can go on and see a bunch of different STEM programs that you can either, go through yourself or even have maybe others in your program go through to help to, get STEM a little bit more into your program or stuff like that. Do you want to go to the next slide?
Yeah.
Thank you much. Next we have Mizzen by Mott, which is another really good after school tool. There are a lot of really cool resources. I haven't had a great amount of time to like go through, but from some of the things that I have seen, there's a lot of really good after school resources that could be helpful with your programs. Yeah, and here's some more additional resources. We have bedtime math, which are like hands-on activities to learn and practice math at home. We have code.org, which is just resources for anyone at any age to begin learning coding and computer science. It's really fun. I've messed around with code.org a lot. Discover Magazine, which is a list of quality STEM online learning opportunities. Girls Who Code. I know one of our big focuses is trying to get girls into STEM. This is definitely a really good resource for that. There are a lot of different clubs, summer programs, and other support networks for young girls or girls of any age to get more interested into computer science. And last, we have Kids Engineering Games and Resource Guide, which is, as it says, a bunch of fun engineering focused games and resources for kids.
And we just started a partnership with Girls Who Code. So if that's something that you are interested in, we can help be kind of the catalyst for you to go in to be like one of the host sites for Girls Who Code. So there's a lot of really good resources and support that Girls Who Code give. So if you go through Kelly's coding training in January or February and you're really interested and you really want to bring some robust coding, that's another great resource that can help you with like different resources and programs and stuff like that to really build up that coding program in your program. And then we have Money, did you want to go over the Million Girls Moonshot and MGM?
So we have the Million Girls Moonshot and Million Girls Moonshot specifically like for Maryland website. The first one that you see with the little girl on the moon is for the Maryland Million Girls Moonshot website. That is where you will find a lot of our a lot more resources on sorry, I can't speak. Resources on programming we might have, different trainings that could be like in your loop, in your area, as well as different resources with other programs that we have partnered with and stuff like that over the years. Million Girls Moonshot is more of the second website is more of the global program where, again, there is lots of resources about trainings and different partnerships that we've had. You definitely should take a look at it, see if there's anything that would be you feel would be really beneficial for you, and then just reach out to us, reach out to them. And yeah, I hope this is very these websites are very useful for you guys.
Actually, Laura, I just made a mistake in my email. It's csnyder@mostnetwork.org. I see that I did an A instead of an S, so it's at most, not moat.
And are you going to be providing these slides for us so that we can get them?
Yes, so we're gonna post that all on the, what is it called? Why can't I find the name?
On Basecamp, yeah.
There we go, Basecamp.
We'll put it all in
Sorry.
Basecamp. We'll email the slides out as well as post the video.
I also dropped a quick link in the chat. We do have a couple of free workshops actually this week on game-based learning. So you can click there and check them out if you're interested.
Oh, fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Crystal, do you want me to do this part?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, guys, so we are nearing the end of our training. We just wanted to know if you would like to share out. Let me know, what are you looking forward to the most this year? And if there's anything else that you would really like to share about yourself, about your program. Keep it a little bit short and sweet, just so we can make sure everyone has a chance to share if they would like to. But yeah, who would like to share? Would anyone like to share? Something that I am super excited for is to work with all of you. You all seem amazing. We spent a lot of time going through like your applications and just reading your bios. You guys seem like the most amazing people I've ever met. And I can't wait to see what you guys like bring to the table and how we can better your programs.
I'll share. We just did a focus group with teachers, and they talked a lot about how post-pandemic math education is just like a real struggle for their students. And so finding a way to incorporate some of those like traditionally mathy topics into the STEM education we already provide. I'm very excited about to get our students back to pre-pandemic math.
Yeah, if we can get them excited
completely
about that
understand.
again, that'd be great.
I agree. We have just recently began partnering with some of our partners in elementary schools doing their math night. So when you said math, I said, oh boy, because there's a lot of similarities between chess and math. And last year with the math nights that we did, our table was the most encountered of all of the tables here. So I'm excited it's going to be about math this year. I'm looking forward to everything.
We're excited to have you. Thank you so much for sharing. Would anyone else like to share?
I'm just excited that everybody's excited about math. I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of people are like, oh, math, I raised two
for sure.
teenagers, math was always a struggle for them and everything. And I'm like, let's get kids excited about math so that, that's not like the bad subject.
As a going from being a student to like a student teacher, I've definitely experienced like the big shift of math to like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be so fun, because there's so much that you can incorporate to math, and it's a lot of fun. It really is.
All right, so let's go ahead and wrap things up. We've got about 2 minutes left. So some things that we, are expecting for you guys to do, that we need you to do quickly. Like I said, we should be sending out the MOUs when Ellie returns back to the office later on this week. So look for it at the end of the week, early next week, and that'll have that kind of whole expectations and everything on it. And then you will also have a pre-survey, so we can kind of see where you guys are at the beginning, and then we'll do a survey at the end to see, how well did we do with making math fun and giving you great resources for your programs and stuff like that. Let me know if you're interested in DOS training in October. We'll get everybody together. I will get you the links to get you signed up to take the DOS training and everything. Like I said, I will send out the information for you guys to look on PAIR's website. There is a button that says to register for DOS training. Don't do that on your own, because you'll have to pay for it. If you go through us, then it's part of the grant that we're working through with this training and everything. So register through us. And then we will have you make sure that you have logged on to Basecamp. Like Imani said, if you have not received an email for your invite into Basecamp and everything, let us know. We will make sure to get you in there so that we can, make sure that we're posting everything. Take a look around, see what's in there. There's a calendar in there. There's like a message board that you can post things. There's a place to drop files and all different kinds of stuff. So it's a really good place to collaborate and share resources and everything. And then please, please, please complete the Google form for any calendar conflicts that you're going to have. We will resend out that link when I send the slides and everything. You'll get kind of a big email from me with the slides and all that kind of stuff. So we'll send all that stuff out with that form. So if you have not already filled it out, please just take a minute, let us know so that we can try and make everything as convenient as possible for everyone. things that we owe for you guys is to finish the calendar. It was to send those MOUs and those pre-surveys. Finish up the calendar and send you calendar invites. That way you can plan out the rest of your year. And then we will connect with you. If you don't already have a survey to use in your program and everything, and you're interested in PAIR, let us know about that, and we'll get you hooked up with information. We will start sending out a little bit more information about PAIR and how to get it, all the information that we need to get you into the database so that you can start collecting and those kinds of things. So that is the end. Look at that, right at 4 o'clock. I try my best. So are there any final questions or anything like that that we have before we sign off?
I just want to shout out Nora. She definitely did. She had her moment, but she did in the chat. She wanted to say that she was looking forward to learning from everyone that's here, as she is new to the STEM area. She would gladly love to absorb any tips that you all have, tips and tricks that you all have to share. We are so excited to have all of you here, and yeah, hope you guys have a great day.
Well, thank you, and please, use us as resources for any questions that you have. We will post our emails onto Basecamp. You can contact us directly or contact us through Basecamp. It does send out kind of like a reminder email when we post things or if someone sends a message to you and everything. So thank you all for coming. Have a great rest of your week, and we look forward to our next time together.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Crystal.
Yeah.
Can you stay on here for a second?
Yep, hold on.
After everyone leaves?
Yep, let me stop recording. Stop share.